That day in the forest. Was the day everything changed.
Hello everybody, we are the SpiffyNeedleGeeks, and welcome to our next Let's Play of... Yokai Watch, ladies and gentlemen, we are the SpiffyNeedleGeeks.
No!
Anyway, continue, BJ.
So this is my first ever Let's Play of a 3DS game from an actual 3DS. This is my first 3DS capture card Let's Play, and it's one I've been wanting to do for a while. Like, Yokai Watch is a game that I had no interest in when the trailers were coming around, but then a buddy of mine got it for me for my birthday. I tried it out, and I fell in love with it. This is such a good game. It's so underrated here in the US. It's so hype. It's more hyped in Japan than Pokemon currently is for a reason. And I want to show it to all of you guys. I want to show it to you guys specifically, Ryan, Danny, and Russell. Because let's just get into it.
All right.
So Yokai Watch. This is a game, the most recent IP of 3DS games, made by Level 5 Inc. Now, this is what I would call RNG the game. Literally everything around this game is based on RNG. You have very little control on actually what you do, but that little control is just enough to get you around.
And once again, BJ is going for the female protagonist.
My name is Spiffy.
Hi, everyone, it's Lil Spiffy.
Now, I'm choosing, like, there's actually a more personal reason why I'm choosing, this girl's actual name is Katie. So yeah, I just kind of worked Spiffy on Katie. And this is partially because of the show. The show is very lackluster. I'll be perfectly honest. Like the story in this game is very well told. The show kind of butchers it. I have to say, and I'm sure.
Like, how so?
I'm sure. Like, I don't want to waste too much time talking about it. I'm sure I'll rag on the show more and more as we go along. The show, like the boy character you can pick, who you see right here, his name is Nate, which we'll see here pretty soon. He is such an awful character in the show, and Katie, unfortunately, in the show is just treated as that typical, Nate's love interest, and that's all she is. But she's also such a good character. So it's partially because of that, that bitterness, which is why I always pick Katie. I just like her more than Nate. I like her design more than Nate. I like her personality more than Nate. But regardless of such, this is Eddie. This group of friends, like this is their quadfecta. We have Eddie, who's like a techie nerd, and his best friend Bear. His real name is Barnaby. He's your typical kind of not really a bully, but he picks on his friends for fun, and they're usually cool with it. It's kind of one of those relationships.
Right, I get you.
He's definitely the brute of the group, but at the same time, he's cool because it's not like he's an idiot or anything. He's actually a pretty average kid in terms of intelligence. He's just, he just acts as the brute.
Right.
And then Nate
makes sense.
And then Nate in this game, I guess Nate or Katie intertwining, the character you didn't pick, they're just acting as that, that other character. That's pretty much what they are. That's what they're relegated to. That other friend who kind of has as much of a personality as you do. Though, really, this is actually interesting. This is one of the few games, in terms of RPGs, especially these kinds of RPGs, where the character you're playing as has a definable personality. Like, they're not just cardboard for the sake of trying to make you more relatable to, the player. This character actually has a personality.
Or just like an avatar.
Yeah, like Katie / Nate they're it's a kid. Like, it's... And the town we live in is called Springdale. I forget what it was called in Japan, but this does take place in Japan. So currently, what's going on right now is Eddie and Bear were showing off their bug collection, which they were using for a summer school project, and Nate and Katie wants to prove that she can get better bugs.
Okay.
All right.
This is kind of what's start off the game. So As such, of course, we have a run button. Hold down the B button to run, except unlike Pokemon, you have a stamina meter. Run too long, and you will eventually wear out, and to the point where you move too slow.
Huh. A game like Yokai Watch adding just a tiny bit of realism.
Yeah, this game is
Not that I'm saying that's a bad thing or anything. No, just minor stuff like that. That's not bad at all. That's good.
Oh, well, here's a really cool thing about Yokai Watch. Yokai Watch is a very realistic game. I'm not talking about in terms of like the realism of obviously there's not spirits or anything running around like that. I'm talking about it's how in depth it gets with its dilemmas or its morals. And that's more stuff I'll get into later on. Like, we really are just a girl or a boy, whoever you pick, just going through their everyday life.
Right.
Welcome to the world of yokai.
Chapter 1.
Yo.
So Katie's first mission as a 10-year-old girl, go catch bugs in the park. Something.
At least they make it clear on where you need to go next.
Yeah. You're never getting lost in this game.
That's good to know.
Like, this game is very in-depth, like side quests or optional stuff you can do. It's very much like an old school RPG. There's a lot of side stuff you can do. Like, this is one of those games where if you just blow through the main story and do nothing else, you can beat it in a couple of hours. The bulk of the game is through everything else.
Oh. Alright.
So here's a bug catching mechanic in this game. So you use the bottom screen or the control stick, either whichever your preference is. And now here's where the RNG comes into place. It looks like it's spinning, however, there's a lag to it. Like, you saw how long it took for it to slow down after I pressed it.
Right.
Yeah.
Just because I have it pressed in a certain spot only guarantees that it'll sometimes land in that area. So there'll be plenty of times where, when it comes to bug catching anyway, where you'll spin the thing, land it where you want it to be, but then as it goes around again slows down, it'll either just barely not make it or overshoot it somehow.
This kind of reminds me of another RPG series that I actually really, really enjoy and would highly recommend. The series is called Shadow Hearts, and probably the biggest gimmick behind it is the battle system, and the whole battling system is imagine you have it's called the Judgment Ring. So you have a circle with areas kind of like in this, where you have to actually hit in those areas, and that's how you do your attacks and your magic spells.
Well, this mechanic only here for bugs. That's the only time we're gonna see that thing. Like, God forbid, if that kind of mechanic was here for the fights, I'd be rage quitting this game way faster than you would know.
See, I'd probably pick that up so quickly because I played through the Shadow Hearts trilogy.
That's actually rather interesting, because I could have sworn it's okay, we're using that same game mechanic for bug catching, but I was kind of under the assumption that you'll be using a similar game mechanic where you're going around trying to get these spirits or whatnot.
Not necessarily. We encounter them in a similar way, but the whole rotating thing across the circle is different. And
that's what I figured.
We'll get introduced to that later on.
Right. Okay.
So now Spiffy's next quest: go talk to the school janitor who is an avid bug collector, and see if he can give you some advice on where to get bugs. And that's me wearing myself out. You'll see me doing that a lot on accident.
You know what? I would probably be doing the exact same thing too, considering that I just used to having those characters, just run for miles without ever having to stop and catch his or her breath.
And actually, another thing I really love about Yokai Watch, the character designs. You can't really see it so much for Nate and Katie, because they're obviously they're the main playable characters, so you want them to be as plain as possible. But every character, majority of the more recognizable characters, they all have these recognizable designs. They all have different facial features, different body proportions, and this doesn't just go for the guys. This also goes for the girls, which is something you don't really see a whole lot in video games. That's really progressive. That's something I really like.
Yeah, because that is one of the biggest criticisms when it comes to female characters in games. Is men, you have all different types of, designs, body types, and everything. You get a lot of variety in male characters. But female characters, they always gotta look cute and pretty. And it's like, people just ask, well, can't we have some variety in our female characters just like the guys do?
Well,
that's a legit complaint.
It is, and this game definitely delivers on it, and I appreciate that.
I mean, it's like, I'm not saying, we can't have cute female characters anymore, because, there are some people that really do come off like, they want that and nothing else. But, it's like, for every cute girl character, it's like, why can't we have, like, a little chubby girl or something being, like, the main hero? Or something like that, let's get some variety up in here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in which case, so you may have seen so far that, Katie's life is pretty much normal. She's a normal girl. That's where it ends. With that brown cincata.
Oh.
This is where Spiffy's life is changed
Sandlot, great movie. Anyway.
So she's just not gonna question that this, like, random, like, fence just magically disappeared?
She didn't really see it. She was kind of looking at the ground.
If I were a rare bug, where would I be?
Probably on one of those trees.
Whoa, look at that tree.
Like that tree?
Oh, exactly like that tree.
With the random ominous rope tied around it?
Yeah, with the oh god, what do they call it in Japan? God damn it!
And also the random pachinko machine sitting in front of it.
Oh,
that's filled with Pokeballs.
Well, not just Pokeballs. Pokeballs that seem like they've. God, they're like hella old.
Like they're ancient.
The where, yeah, they would look. Yeah, ancient Pokeballs that turn into stone.
They also talk.
Feed me, Seymour!
God damn it! Spiffy! Feed me, Spiffy! Oh god, it really is turning into a Little Shop of Horrors!
Well, this game's already off to a great start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, does this look inanimate to you, punk?
Oh, Jesus. Just whatever you do, don't let him taste your blood. He'll just want more.
Let's open this ominous thing.
Sure, why not?
It's like, oh shit, you let up, you two.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
Actually, for Whisper here, it's only been 190 years.
Oh,
Not as bad.
that's nowhere near as funny.
Yes, this is Whisper. This is our games. I guess you can call him our Navi, Tattle, Midna. Except he's actually a really cool character. He's very, like, for one thing I will admit that I didn't give this game enough credit for. When I saw Whisper on the cover at first, I thought he was going to be one of those really annoying characters. In your face, actually, he's very elegant. I love his voice. Like, he's very pompous sounding. He really does look after you, like, your well-being. Like, he's a very smart character as well. The show gives him absolutely no justice. The show actually does turn him into that character that I didn't want him to be. Like, he's an absolute idiot in the show. Here, he's very smart. He's very wise, too.
Just out of curiosity, the voices in the game, are they the same voices in the show?
Yes. At least for most characters, anyway. There are some certain other yokai that do have different voice actors, but they're very minimal.
Alright.
So, Whisper here, he is going to introduce Spiffy to the world of the yokai. He's like, why would you settle on boring old bugs? Wouldn't you rather catch something more interesting, like yokai?
Well,
Catching yokai is the new hip thing, don't you know?
well,
I
you
should-
called it. It's like
I
we
should
just
also-
played this game
It's
before or
like,
something.
You got any more change? You might
should
get
also-
some more yokai out of that pachinko machine.
I should also mention... Actually, you're not wrong about that, Danny, but I'll get into that later. I should also mention, Whisper is actually a butler. He acts as Spiffy's
Oh.
butler.
Okay.
Pretty damn good. He's
a
pretty damn
butler,
good at his
eh?
job too. So this is our yokai watch. Like here, it's a pocket watch for Spiffy and for Katie. For Nate, it's just a normal wristwatch. And I believe they changed that in the second game, where Katie also gets a wristwatch as well. But that's for later on. Like this game, Yokai Watch 2 will probably come out like sometime during this Let's Play. And I'll definitely get into that game later on once I actually play. I don't know anything about that game aside from some trailers. But regardless, so the Yokai Watch is reacting. Whenever a yokai is nearby, the Yokai Watch will blink and make a little noise. Now what's also cool about Whisper can actually sense the aura of other yokai. So he has a general direction of where they are. Because what's interesting about yokai can even hide themselves from other yokai.
Huh.
Explaining how the radar works out. So, yokai are literally hidden everywhere around the entire world. And the Yokai Watch, as long as you have it out anyway, you can turn it off if you don't want to listen to it. Like I'm doing there. The Yokai Watch will beep as such whenever you're close to one. And now we're going to get into a similar mechanic to what we saw with the bug, but instead of just hovering around the bug and hoping you catch it, the yokai move around. And you have to point their lens at the invisible yokai in order to, for long enough without them escaping, in order to reveal them. And you'll get an example of that right now.
Okay.
As Whisper is explaining here, gotta fill up. You just simply fill up once the meter is completely filled up, the yokai will appear to you.
Okay.
Now, after a little bit, if you can't find it immediately, a little purple cloud of smoke will appear, and that'll give you a general idea of where it is.
Okay.
But here's the first yokai. Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo. Oh, it looks so sad.
Aw, boo-hoo, hence the name.
Yeah.
Aw.
So now what I'm going to be doing for this Let's Play, I will be giving general biographies and descriptions on every yokai, as we come across them. I'm going to avoid that for now anyway, just so we can get things moving along with the gameplay mechanics. I'll talk about Boo-hoo and another yokai we're about to meet pretty soon in the next video. So you can look forward to that later on. But,
Alright.
General description of Boo-hoo, obviously. One thing you're going to notice with the yokai, just by looking at them or learning their names, you'll very easily learn what they do. Like in Boo-hoo's case, it makes you sad. It makes you depressed or makes you distracted through depression. That's what Boo-hoo does whenever they inspirit somebody. And here is one of the Sinkata we caught earlier. It was actually a yokai. This is Kaden. As he said, he's a yokai that likes to disguise himself as real Sinkata.
Oh.
So now, if you're not really familiar with general yokai myths, yokai are described as spirits that will possess people and be the reason for some of their troubles. So, Boo-hoo, as shown, when Boo-hoo possesses you, it'll make you sad. Now, the game doesn't really go over this, but when Kaden possesses you, Kaden is actually a really pathetic yokai, to be honest, and it only makes sense that he'd be your first. What Kaden just gave you was his yokai medal. These are what you need in order to summon the yokai. Because with yokai, it's not like Pokemon where you shove them into a ball and carry them with you. You have access to their medals. When they give you a medal, then you can call upon them whenever you need them. But they're still off living their normal life. It's just when you insert the yokai medal into the watch, it pulls them over from wherever they are and pulls into you. You're effectively summoning them from wherever they are to assist you.
I see.
So they're still sentient beings that are very intelligent, and they're still off living they still live their normal lives, but if you befriend them, they'll be more than willing to help you, like in this case. So now here are the battle mechanics.
Okay.
You barely do a thing. You can only do one of 4 things. I'll go over each one as they're presented. The first one is Assaultiment. The little blue gauge next to Kaden there is his Assaultiment meter. You charge that up for the yokai to unleash their ultimate move. But when you don't do anything, the yokai will only do one of 4 things. Either attack, defend, inspirit, or loaf. Or, I'm missing one. Guard. Wait, no, attack, defend, Yeah, attack, guard, and spirits. Or loaf. I guess that's it. Yeah, Boo-hoo no is no threat. I'll be able to...
Aww.
Yeah, but the yokai, they fight on their own. Like, you have very little input in what they actually do. But there are more things you will be able to do later on as we go along, and I will be showing those off as we go.
Okay.
So now, as such, because Boo-hoo obviously is a story yokai, we get his medal immediately. So now, this is how you get more yokai, by fighting them and impressing them. But it's all RNG based. There's no guarantee that after you fight a yokai that it'll join you. It's completely a luck game. Now, there are things you can do to increase your probabilities, but that never guarantees it.
Well, anything from that would be deviating from the norm.
Alright. Anyway.
So now we have access to both Caden and Boo-hoo. These are the first two yokai you get in the game.
Okay.
Nice.
And Whisper just presented us our yokai medallion. This is where we carry all the medals.
So it's pretty much our badge case.
Yes.
Just like Pokemon.
So now, as such... Oh, actually, I almost forgot to mention what Caden does when he inspirits people. When Caden inspirits you, he just makes you skittish. Like, he makes you very prompt to run away if you need to. Like, if you're...
bug.
Like, you know there's fight or flight? Like, even if you're more of a fight guy, if Caden possesses you, you'll be more... you'll tend more to flight.
Oh, okay.
Whisper also brought up Legends pages. I'll get more into those later on. And now, let's listen to Whisper.
How's that? Think you understand yokai a little better now?
It's kind of hard to wrap my brain around. The fact that yokai exist in the first place.
I understand, but yokai are hiding everywhere in the city, you see. Like over there.
Oh no! Yay!
Well,
So you see, there are yokai all around you hidden in plain sight. You may not be able to see them, but they're everywhere. So let's take that yokai watch and start using it to make you some yokai friends, okay?
And we will be doing just that next time. To be continued.
Very nice.
We also now have access to the yokai cam. We'll be showing that off later on. So join us next time as we begin our quest to befriend all the yokai. We'll see you all later.
Alright, see ya.